Myself D. Krishna, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering from Erode Sengundar Engineering College. So this class is sponsored by AICTE Prerana for the benefits of SCSC students, those who are preparing for higher education exams like GATE. So my subject is Transportation Engineering. So today's class we are going to discuss about the objective questions from our previous class lectures. Okay. So a triangle, first question, a triangle is used for changing the direction of engine, transferring wagon to and from parallel track without shunting, separating all the sides and the shunting lines from main line, preventing the vehicle from running off the track. So the answer is changing the direction of engine. Okay. So the triangle is an arrangement which we generally having in our railway station. Okay. The main purpose of triangle is only to change the direction. Okay. Only to change the direction of the engine. Okay. So how it will work generally is, so the arrangement will be like this. Okay. It is nothing but a track. Okay. So first your track will continue like this. So your train will come. Okay. Come and stop like here. Then your engine alone gets separated from your entire train and it will move to this direction and join over here. Okay, in order to change the direction of engine. Okay, initially your engine was here, and after the completion of the process, your engine will come here. Then the entire train will move in the same direction. So this triangle arrangement is mainly used to change the direction of engine. Okay. So next. Heel divergence is always less than the flange way clearance, equal to flange way clearance, always greater than the flange way clearance, sometimes greater than the flange way clearance. So the answer is always greater than the flange way clearance. Okay. So we know a heel is a small part in your Poinson crossing. Okay. So the flange way clearance is another small part. The thing is heel divergence is always greater than, okay, your heel divergence is always greater than the your flange way clearance. Okay. So the very small thing is flange way. The heel divergence is a little bit bigger than your flange way clearance. Okay, you have to remember that. Then stretcher bar. A stretcher bar is provided in your Poinson crossing to permit lateral movement of trunk rail, to maintain the two trunk rail at the exact distance, to ensure exact gauge at the toe of the switches as well as the nosing of crossing, to prevent any vertical movement between the wing rail and nose of crossing. So the answer is to maintain the two trunk rail at the exact distance. So some of the questions you can able to understand, some of the questions you have to remember. Okay. So the questions will be like that. Next question, question number 4. Cant deficiency occurs when a vehicle travel around a curve at equilibrium speed, speed higher than the equilibrium speed, speed lower than your equilibrium speed, then booked speed. So generally, what is meant by cant? Cant is nothing but Meena, mute your mic. Meena, mute your mic. Okay, so the cant is nothing but your super elevation. Okay, so cant deficiency. When the super elevation will get deficient, so generally what we do is we will always design our cant for our equilibrium speed. Okay, we always design our super elevation for our equilibrium speed. If a vehicle, assume that if a vehicle is moving higher than the equilibrium speed, then your super elevation will not be sufficient. So that is a case called as Kant deficiency. Okay. So speed higher than your equilibrium speed. When a vehicle which is moving speed higher than your equilibrium speed means then the super elevation will not sufficient over there. So that thing is called as Kant efficiency. So speed lower than equilibrium speed means, so that is called as Kant excess. Meena, mute your mic. Okay. So speed lower than equilibrium speed means you will get Kant excess. Next question, question number 5. The dash type of spike used for fixing chair of bull-headed rail to wooden sleeper. Okay, so dog spike, rail screws, elastic spike, round spike. So the answer is round spike. 1 minute. Okay. So the answer is a round spike. So this thing we have discussed while in class itself. Okay. This is a round spike. The round spikes are used for fixing the chairs to the wooden sleepers. Okay. So always the round spike is used in case of wooden sleeper to fix. Question number 6. Flat mild steel bearing plates are used. So the mild steel bearing plates are used for points and crossing in the lead portion with wooden sleepers at locations where creeps is likely to be developed on all joints and curves on all of the above. Okay. So the answer is for points and crossing in the lead portion. So the mild steel, remember the mild steel bearing plates are used at points and crossings in the lead portion. Okay. Question number 7. Staggered joints are generally provided. So we have discussed about different types of joints like suspended joint, supported joint, okay, bridge joint, staggered joints. So among these, the staggered joints are mainly used on curves. Okay. So how the staggered joint will be now? So this is your rails. Okay. Your staggered joints will be like this. Zigzag. So this type of zigzag joint is mainly provided only on curves. Okay. So in order to overcome your centrifugal force. Due to batten action of wheels over the end of the rail. So batten action means nothing but jumping action. Okay. So due to the batten action of wheels over the end of the rail get bent down and are deflected at the ends. These rails are called as wronging rails, hogged rails, corrugated rails, buckled rails. The answer is hogged rails. So this effect is called as a hogging effect. So we have discussed already. Okay. So this process is called as a hogged process. Okay. So due to batten action, continuous or repeated jumping at the joints by the flange, that will create some hogging effect on your rails. So that process is called as hogging. Next question, question number 9. George Stephenson succeeded in rendering the first rail of the world in year. It is an year actually. It's 1825, 1835, 1841, 1853. So the answer is 1825. Okay. So George Stephenson, who invented the train, he successfully completed his first journey in the year of 1825. So the first train in India was run in India. In India, the first train is run in 1825, 1835, 1841, 1853. So the answer is 1853. We know So who is the father of our Indian Railway? Lord Dalhousie. Okay, the Lord Dalhousie is the father of our Indian Railway, who successfully completed the first journey, okay, in the year 1853. The first train in India was run between Delhi to Kolkata, Mumbai and Thane, Delhi to Mumbai, Mumbai and Kolkata. The answer is Mumbai and Thane. Okay, so these were the places where the first train in India travels. So first train 1825, in India 1853, where means Mumbai to Thane, okay, between. Question number 12. The Indian Railway have been divided into dash number of zones, okay, 6, 8, 12, 16. So the answer is 16 zones. Question number 13. The clear distance between inner face of rails near the tops is known as dash of the track. Clear width, gauge, rolling stack, flange. So the answer is gauge. So this is the definition for gauge. Okay, the clear distance between the inner faces of rail is generally we call it as gauge. Okay, we are having different types of gauge. Okay, so broad gauge, meter gauge, narrow gauge, standard gauge, like that. Okay, the gauge is nothing but the distance between the inner faces of two rails. The railway system of India is the dash longest in the world under a single management. So the answer is second. Okay, first, second, third, fourth. The answer is second. The railway system on India is the second largest in the world under the single management system. So the time of construction of railway in India, after long controversy, the gauge adopted at the standard gauge is 1.435, 1.524, 1676, 1.843. The answer is 1.435. Okay, because they have asked a standard gauge. Okay, not broad or something. Okay, they have asked for standard gauge. The length of standard gauge is 1.435, 1 meter, 1.435 meter. Next question, 16th. The broad gauge is, we know the length of broad gauge is 0.6096 meter, 0.762 meter, 1 meter, or 1.676 meter. So the answer is 1.616. Okay, so this is the broad gauge. So this is broad gauge. We know 1 meter is meter gauge. So this 0.762 and both are called as narrow gauge. Okay, so the 1.435 is standard gauge. So these are the 4 gauges generally we are having. Okay, we know gauge is nothing but, so this is one rail, this is another rail. The distance between the two rails, the inner distance between the two rails is called as gauge. So broad gauge, meter gauge, narrow gauge, standard gauge. So among which the broad gauge is the highest one, okay, and the narrow gauge is the least one. Okay. For main cities, next question, 17th. For main cities and routes with maximum intensities, the type of gauge adopted is, for main cities and routes. Okay, for main cities and routes, also it is having maximum intensities. Okay, that type of gauge is adopted: broad gauge, meter gauge, narrow gauge, all of this. So it is very difficult to adopt all of these. Among these 3, so we will generally go for broad gauge because they have already clearly mentioned that. So it is a main city and route. Okay, and also it has a maximum intensities. So maximum intensity means maximum number of passengers. So in order to compute those number of passengers, the broad gauge is type of gauge which can able to handle large passengers at very minimum time. Okay, so that's why the main routes and the cities with having maximum intensity are generally go for broad gauge type of track. Next question. In supported rail joint, both of the end of adjoining rails are supported on the single sleeper, a single fishbed, double sleeper, none of this. So the answer is single sleeper. Okay, so in all the supports, the joining rails are generally supported on a single sleeper. So we have already discussed this thing. Okay, so at any case, the rail joints should be generally rest on a single sleeper. Okay, so this is what they have asked. So this is how the objective test questions will be like this. Okay, so generally take it from your theory part. So between the two rails, a gap of dash is provided for a free expansion of rails due to the rising in temperature. Due to the rising in temperature. So generally, the options are 1.5 mm to 3 mm, 3 meter to 3 mm to 6 mm, 6 mm to 9 mm, 9 mm to 12 mm. So the optimum is 1.5 mm to 3 mm, because if you are increased the gap between two rails, okay, for example, if you are giving 9 mm to 12 mm means generally the gap between the two rails will be very high. Then when the train traveling at that particular place, it will have more vibration. Okay, so that will create a lot of discomfort to the passengers. So we have to give a gap that also satisfy the thermal expansion, also the customers comfort points of view. Okay, so that's why we are giving 1.5 mm to 3 mm. So this is the answer, 1.5 mm to 3 mm. Next question, 20. Creep is the dash moment of rail. Okay, so options are longitudinal, lateral, vertical, and horizontal. We know creep is the longitudinal movement of rail. Okay, with respect to sleepers. So that is the definition of creep. So creep is nothing but the longitudinal movement of rail. Okay, so with respect to sleepers. The Versine h of the curves is given by, okay, h equal to 1 2 by r, 1 square divided by 2r, 1 square, yeah, sorry, this is L square divided by 4r, L square divided by 8r. The answer is L square divided by r. So remember this formula. In India, permissible limit of rail wear, okay, is dash by weight. So in India, the permissible limit of rail wear is dash by weight, 5%, 10%, 25%, 30%. Okay, the answer is 5%. Okay, so for example, if you are providing a rail which is having 100 kg, okay, if it is having 100 kg, so due to the continuous movement of train, okay, so it will, the top of the surface definitely will get a little bit friction. Okay, so due to the friction, the weight will be a little bit lost. So if the weight will reach 95, okay, kg after losing of 5 kg, then definitely we have to replace that rail. Okay, that's what they are saying. Okay, if you are providing a 100 kg rail at one particular place, and due to the continuous movement of train, the rail get lost his own weight. Okay, if it is reached by 5%, then we have to remove the rail, existing rail, and we have to replace the existing rail with a new rail. Okay, that is what they were meaning. That is allowed to 5%. Up to 5% we will wait. After it reaches the 5%, we have to remove and replace the rail with a new one. So remember, it's a 5%. Sleepers which satisfy, next question. Sleepers which satisfy all the requirement and are only suitable for track circuiting, sir. So the keyword is track circuiting. Okay. So options are wooden sleeper, steel sleeper, iron sleeper, RCC sleeper. So among these three, all are having steel. Okay, whereas steel is a good conductor of electricity. So since it is not suitable for track circuiting. Okay. So finally we are having wooden sleeper. We know wood is bad conductor, since it will not produce any circuit short. So for track circuiting purpose, the wood sleepers are widely used. Next question. The number of sleepers used for rail varies from. Okay, the number of sleepers used for rails varies from. So these are some of the formulas we know. Calculating rail intensity. So n plus 1 to n plus 4, n plus 3 to n plus 6, n plus 2 to n plus 7, and n plus 4 to n plus 8. In India, we are using generally n plus 4 to n plus 8. That we know. Next question, 25. The standard size of wooden sleeper on meter gauge. The standard size of wooden sleeper on meter gauge railway track is, so the options are 1.52 meter by 15 centimeter by 10 centimeter, 1.83 meter by 20 centimeter by 11 centimeter, 2.74 meter by 25 centimeter by 14 centimeter, and any of these. So the answer is 1.83 meter by 20 centimeter by 11 centimeter. Okay. So note down and remember this, 1.83 meter by 20 centimeter by 11 centimeter. So this is the standard size of wooden sleeper, which is used in meter gauge. Okay. In meter gauge type of track, the wooden sleeper size is 1.83 meter by 20 centimeter by 11 centimeter. So adjing is done in the sleepers to give the slope of. Okay. So in railways, we generally studied one is coning, another one is adjing. Okay, so both are done in the ratio of 1 in 20. Okay, so the options is 1 in 10, 1 in 20, 1 in 30, and 1 in 40. So the answer is 1 in 20. For adjing, also coning, both are done in the slope of 1 in 20. Okay, remember that. Next question. The purpose of providing a fillet in a rail section is to increase the lateral strength, increase the vertical stiffness, avoid the stress concentration, reduce the wear. Okay. Fillet is nothing but a small plate, steel plate. Okay. The answer is avoid the stress concentration. In order to avoid the stress at one particular place, we need to distribute the stress. For that purpose only, the fillets are generally provided on the rails. Next question. Two important constituents in the composition of steels used for rails are, okay, we know the rails are generally made up of alloy of steels. Okay, so they are asking about two major constituents. Options are carbon and silica, magnesium and phosphorus, carbon and manganese, carbon and sulfur. So the answer is carbon and manganese. So these are the two important constituents mainly in your rails. Next question. Flangeway clearance is the distance. Flangeway clearance is the distance between the adjoining faces of running rails and the check rail near the crossings, between the gauge face of the stock rail and the tongue rail, through which the tongue rail moves laterally to the toe of switch, none of the above. So we know the flangeway definition for flangeway clearance is this one. Okay, it is the distance between the adjoining faces of running rails and the check rail near the crossing. Okay, distance between the adjoining faces of running rails near your crossing. So that is called as a flangeway clearance. So which of the following types of sleepers are preferred on joints? CTS 9 sleeper, steel throw sleepers, wooden sleepers, concrete sleepers. So we know in joints the impact force will be very high. Okay, because the train will jump and reach your rail. So due to that, your impact force is very high. So at that place, if you are providing any type of sleeper, definitely it will going to get that impact energy. Okay, so by the impact energy, definitely it will going to be destroyed through a later of period. Okay, for that, if you are providing steel or concrete RCT9 type of sleepers, it is not economical. Okay. In order to replace it frequently, we generally used wooden sleepers over the joints. Okay. In order to minimize our expense, we generally provided wooden sleeper at the joints. If we need to replace it, we can simply replace it because the wooden sleepers are very cheap. Also, it will have some scrap value. Okay, so that's why. So wooden sleepers are preferred in the joints. Next question, 31. The total effective bearing area of both the blows of a pot sleeper is slightly more than the wooden sleeper, slightly less than the wooden sleeper, equal to the wooden sleeper, none of this. So the option answer is equal to that of wooden sleeper. Okay, the effective bearing area of both the bowls of the pot sleeper is equal to the wooden sleeper. Next question. Pick up the incorrect statement from the following. So which one is not correct? Okay, they were asking about incorrect statement. The proper gauge ability to the permanent way. Sleeper act as an elastic cushion between rails and ballast. So we know all the three options are correct. Okay, so there is no any wrong statement among it. So the answer is none of these. So these three are the main function of sleepers. Okay, so definitely there will not be any mistake. So the answer is none of this. Next question. On Indian Railway, number of crossing is defined by. So there is one formula. Okay. So sine of angle of crossing, cosine of angle of crossing, tangent of angle of crossing, cotangent of contingents of angle of crossing. So the answer is contingent of angle of crossing. Next question, 34. Pandroll clips cannot be used with wooden sleeper, concrete sleeper, CST9 sleepers, steel throw sleepers. It cannot be used by using CST9 sleepers. Okay. So it is nothing but a clip to hold the sleeper. Okay, sleeper and rail. Next question. For providing the required tilt of rails, adjusting of wooden sleeper is done from bull-headed rail, double-headed rail, flat-footed rail, any type of this. Okay, so the answer is flat-footed rail. So the adjusting of wooden sleeper is mainly done only at flat-footed sleeps, flat-footed rails. Next. So normally the maximum count permissible in meter gauge 75 mm, 90 mm, 140 mm, 165 mm. So the answer is 90 mm. So these are the things you have to remember. Okay. So there is one table I already have shown you. So in which you are having the maximum count for a meter gauge, for broad gauge, for narrow gauge. Okay. For meter gauge, it is 90 mm. Next question, 37. To prevent the change in gauge and creep, the steel sleepers are fixed by clips, bolts, and to prevent the change in gauge and creep, the steel sleepers are fixed by clips, bolts, and 1 key, 2 key, 3 key, 4 key. The answer is 2 keys. Okay. So the answer is 2 keys. So always a rail will be fixed by using 2 keys. To keep the railway yard dry, the ballast used is sand, coal, ash, broken stones, both A and B. Okay. The answer is both A and B. Sand, coal, ash. Both sand, coal, and ashes are the ballast mainly used in your station yard in order to keep the station dry from your rain. Next question. The mass of a rail chair is about 10 kg, 15.6 kg, 22 kg, 30 kg. The answer is 30 kg. Okay, the mass of your chair, rail chair is about 30 kg. Next question. The bearing plates are used to fix dash rails on wooden sleeper. Flat-footed, bull-headed, double-headed, none of this. The bearing plates are generally used to fix your double-headed rails. Okay. Remember that the bearing plates are generally used to fix your double-headed rails in wooden sleeper. Next question. Charles Vignoles invented the flat-footed rails in the year 1814, 1836, 1846, 1856. So it is 1836. Okay. So already we have discussed 2 years. So what is the year that rail was invented? That is 1825. And what is the year on which the Indian Railway has started its first journey? It is 1853. Okay. So the Charles Vignoles invented the flat-footed rail. The flat-footed rail, which we are using nowadays, was invented in the year 1836. The weight of rails depend upon. Okay, the weight of rails depends on. Options are gauge of the track, speed of the train, nature of traffic, all of the above. Okay. So the options are gauge of the track, speed of the train, nature of traffic, all of the above. So the answer is all of the above. So your rails will be, the weight of rails will be fixed based on all of this. Okay, gauge of the track, speed of the train, nature of traffic. So based on this above category, the weight of rails is fixed in one particular place. Next question. The minimum depth of ballast prescribed of broad gauge track line of Indian Railway is. So minimum depth of ballast in broad gauge track 15 centimeter, 20 centimeter, 25 centimeter, 30 centimeter. So the answer is 25 centimeter. Okay. So in broad gauge track, we have to provide minimum depth of 25 centimeter ballast. Okay, in order to observe your vibrations coming from your moving train. Okay, 25 centimeter for broad gauge. So it may varies depend upon your gauge. For broad gauge, it is 25. Next question, 44. Boxing of ballast is done. Boxing of ballast is done. And options are under rails, at the rails, in between two rails, in between two sleepers. So the answer is at the rails. Boxing is generally done. Boxing of ballast is generally done at the rail levels. Remember that boxing is generally done at rail level. Next question. Distance between the inner rails and the check rails provided at sharp curves. Distance between the inner rail and the check rail provided on sharp curve is 40 mm, 42 mm, 44 mm, 46 mm. The answer is 44 mm. Okay, sometimes you may have such kind of questions. So for that you have to remember. Okay, so no other way. The answer is 44 mm. So that is the distance between the inner rail and the check rail in sharp curve, 44 mm. Okay, next question. Coal ash or cinder is used in initial stage of a new construction of rail is for wooden sleeper, steel sleeper, cast iron sleeper, none of this. Okay, so the answer is wooden sleeper. Okay. So the ballast, coal ash or cylinder is used in initial stage of new construction of wooden sleeper. If you are using wooden sleeper means we can use the coal ash or cylinder as a ballast. Next question. A king's is made in stock rail. A head of toe of switch at a distance of. A kink is made in stock rails. A head of a toe of switch at a distance of 10 centimeter, 15 centimeter, 20 centimeter, 30 centimeter. So the answer is 15 centimeter. The kink is made in a stock rail. Okay, it is in 15 centimeter. Next question, 48. The rails are bent to correct curvature if the degree of curve is more than. Rails are bent in correct curvature if the degree of curve is more than. Answer options are 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree. The answer is 4 degree. So in curves, we have to bend the rail. Okay, in order to make it as curve, we need to bend the rail. So the rails will bend correctly when the degree of curve is more than 4. Okay, then it will not be any problem if your curve is more than 4 degree. If your curve is less than 2 degree, it is very difficult to bend your rail. Okay, less than 3 degree. Next question. In India, the rails are manufactured by open hearth process, duplex process, both A and B, neither A nor B. So the option answer is both. Okay, both A and B. In India, the rails are generally manufactured by both process, open hearth process, another one is duplex process. In both the way, we are generally manufacturing our rails. Next question. The rail section first designed on Indian Railways are. Okay. So this question already I have discussed in class alone. Okay. So the rail section first designed on Indian Railway. I have told a story behind it. So the options are double-headed, bull-headed, flat-footed, A and B simultaneously. So the answer is double-headed. So initially we have created the double-headed rail. Okay, in the idea of using by reversing, but the reversing process is not actually working because the rail got wear and tear in irregular manner. Okay, while placing the top in the bottom, you will not get any proper stability for the track. So that's why we left the concept and go for bull-headed rail. So in bull-headed rail, we just removed the bottom layer. We just decrease the bottom layer and increase the head. Okay, head of the rails. That's the story behind this. So double-headed rail is the first rail which was designed by our Indian Railway. Next question. 51. Wooden sleepers used on the grinders of bridge are generally made up of girders. Okay, the wooden sleepers used on the girders of bridges are generally made up of sal, chir, teak, deodar. So the answer is teak. So we know teak is a superior wood which having very high strength, life, and durability character. So in girders, in bridges, we generally prefer teak type of wood. Okay. So among sal, chir, and deodar, teak is a superior one since it is preferred for girders like bridges, girders and bridges. Next, the overall depth of dog spike. So we know we are having different types of spikes. The depth of dog spike is 120.6 mm, 155.90 mm, 135 mm, 150 mm. So the answer is 120.6 mm. So it is the depth of our dog spike. Okay. Next question, 53. The rail section which is not used in Indian meter gauge track is 25R, 30R, 35R, 40R. So the answer is 40R. So 40R is a type of rails which is generally used in broad gauge only. Okay, it will not used in meter gauge. Next question, 54. Rail joint supported on a single sleeper is known as. So we know. Okay, so suspended, bridge, supported, square rail joint. The answer is supported rail joint. Okay, so the rail supported by a single sleeper is called as supported rail joint. Next, maximum wheelbase distance provided on Indian broad gauge track. Maximum wheelbase. Okay, so wheelbase is nothing but so distance between the two wheels. Okay, here one wheel, here another wheel. It will be like this. Okay, so this is your train. Here you have another compartment. It will be connected by this. Okay. So the wheelbase is nothing but the distance between two rails. Okay. So this is called wheelbase. So it is about 6.096 meter. Okay. So the maximum wheelbase distance up in Indian broad gauge track is 6.096 meter. Okay. So approximately about 20 feet. Okay. Approximately 20 feet. The length of your compartment. Okay. The thread of wheel is provided an outward slope of, okay, wherever the options are 1 in 10, 1 in 15, 1 in 20, 1 in 25. So the answer is 1 in 20. Okay, so wherever you are getting the options related to slope, you can blindly take 1 in 20, because in Indian Railway we are using that 1 in 20 in more number of places, like thread, adjusting, coning. In all the places, the slope provided generally is 1 in 20. Next question, 57. So dimension of plate grider. Okay. So it is a standard one. 851 mm by 851, 255 mm by 254, 851 mm by 254, 551 mm by 254. The answer is 851 mm by 254 mm. So this is the actual standard size of a plate grider. Okay, steel plate grider. Next question. According to International Civil Aviation Organization (ICAO), the runway length of aerodromes have been coded by the runway length of aerodromes. Okay, they are asking length of aerodromes will be coded by 7 English alphabets, last 7 English alphabets, first 7 English alphabets, first 7 natural numbers. So the answer is first 7 English alphabets. Okay. The length of runway is generally coded by using first 7 English alphabets. Okay. Pick up the correct statement. Pick up the correct statement from the following. The distance between the point of intersection of extreme tangent of a tangential curve is greater than 7,500 meter into sum of greater changes at the point of intersection. The rate of change of grade is limited to 0.3% per 30 meter length of curve. According to ICAO, the maximum longitudinal gradient along a runway is limited to 1.5. Fourth one, all of this. So among the above 3 statements, all are correct. Okay. So the answer is all the above. The runway orientation is made so that the landing and the takeoff are. The runway orientation, they are asking about orientation. The runway orientation is made so that the landing and takeoff are against the wind direction, along the wind direction, perpendicular to wind direction, none of this. So the answer is against the wind direction. Okay, both the landing and the takeoff operation, both are in the direction of, okay, the both are in the direction of against to the wind. Okay, then only both will be easy. The landing takeoff, both the process will be easy. Next question. According to ICAO, the slope of transitional surface at right angle to the center line of runway is kept 1 in 4, 1 in 5, 1 in 6, 1 in 7. So the answer is 1 in 7. So this type of questions you have to remember this value. Okay. It's very difficult to understand. Okay. So you can simply remember the options. According to ICAO, the slope of transitional surface. Okay, the slope of transitional surface is 1 in 7. Next question. The depression and undulations in the depressions and undulations in the pavement are caused due to. Options are improper compaction of subgrade, impact of heavy wheel loads, punching effect, all the above. Okay. So among all the options are correct. So the answer is all the above. So the undulations and depressions are generally due to poor compression, heavy load, punching effect. Okay, by all of these. Next question. Pick up the incorrect statement. Here they are asking incorrect statement from the following. In single engine aeroplanes, the engine is provided in the nose of the aircraft. Okay, in single engine aeroplanes, the engine is provided in the nose of aircraft. In double engine aeroplanes, one engine on either wings is placed symmetrically. Okay. In 3-engine aeroplanes, 2 engines are placed on both the wings and 1 engine is placed at the tail. None of this. So they're asking about incorrect statement. So first 2 are correct. Okay, if your aircraft is a single engine, then the engine is provided at the nose, okay, which is the center. If it is a double engine, both the engines are placed at wings. So definitely we will not have any 3-engine aeroplanes. Okay, even though if there is any 3-engine aeroplanes, 2 engines are provided on the wings. 1 engine is only at your nose side, not in the tail. Okay, the tail, only thing the tail is to control the wind direction. There we will not provide any engines. So none of this. The option is C. Okay, in 3-engine aeroplanes, 2 engines are placed on the both the wings and 1 engine is placed on the tail. That is your wrong statement. Next question. The thickness design of the pavement is decided on the load carried by main gears, nose wheels, and tail wheels, all the above. So the answer is main gears. Next question. For Class A airport, the difference of reduced level of height and lower edges of a conical surface is 25 meter, 50 meter, 75 meter, 100 meter. So for Class A, it is 100 meter. Next question. Beaufort scale is used to determine 66. Question number 66. Beaufort scale is used to determine strength of winds, direction of wind, height of aircraft. None of this. The answer is strength of wind. Okay, the Beaufort scale is mainly used to determine the strength of winds or intensity of wind. Next question. The minimum width of clearway is 50 meter, 100 meter, 150 meter, 250 meter. So the answer is 250 meter. So the clearway is nothing but at your end of runway. Okay, if this is your runway, means we need to provide some open space after your runway. Okay, so this is called as clearway. So this is about 250 meter. So this is your clearway. This is your runway. Okay. At both the ends, both the ends, you will have clearway. So that clearway is about 250 meter. For 250 meter, we have to provide so empty space at the both end of your runway. So that is called as clearway. So this thing also we have discussed in class. according to ICAO, all marking in runway is on. So color, they're asking about colors. Okay, marking colors: white, yellow, red, orange. So we know it's white. According to ICAO, all markings in runway, they are asking about runway. You have to remember what they were asking. Either it is runway or taxiway. If it is runway, it is white. If it is taxiway, it is yellow. Okay. According to ICAO, all lightings in runway during night time is on white, yellow, blue, orange. So the answer is yellow. So during daytime, the paintings are marked in runway by white. Okay. So runway, taxiway, daytime, nighttime. Okay. So daytime, you will have painting. Okay. So daytime, your runway painting will be on white color. Your taxiway painting will be on yellow paint. Whereas nighttime it is light. Okay. So daytime you will have paint. Nighttime light. Okay. So it is white. Taxiway is in yellow. Whereas nighttime runway is in yellow lighting. Okay. Whereas taxiway in blue lighting. Okay. You have to remember this chart. Very important. Most of the question, objective type questions, you will get this question in any type of exam. Okay. So your runway during daytime, white marking. Okay. During nighttime, yellow lighting. Same way, taxiway during daytime, yellow marking paint. Nighttime, blue lighting. So according to ICAO, all lightings in taxiway during nighttime is blue. Okay, blue. If it is a runway, nighttime, yellow. As per ICAO recommendation, elevation correction is. So this thing we will know because we have solved a large number, more number of problems in that area. So the options are 3%, 7, 9, 11. The answer is 7%. Okay. The ICAO recommended elevation corrections will be 7%. Next question. As per ICAO recommendation, the temperature correction 0.5, 0.9, 1, 1.5%. So the answer is 1%. Elevation correction 7%, temperature correction 1%. As per ICAO recommendation, the gradient correction. So gradient correction is 0.1%, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. The answer is 0.1% for 20%. Speed of calm period is less than 2 kmph, 4 kmph, 6 kmph, 8 kmph. So the answer is 6 kmph. If your speed at that particular area which is less than 6 kmph means we generally call it as calm period. Simply call it as calm period. Next question 76. Which of the following is not a wind measuring instrument? So which of the following is not a wind measuring instrument? Wind cone, wind tee, wind flag, tetrahedron. So the answer is wind flag. Okay. So most of the people have hit the tetrahedron. So because it is different from all three options now. So that's why they have chosen the tetrahedron. Actually tetrahedron is a wind measuring instrument. There is no instrument called wind flag. Okay. So wind cone we are having, wind tee we are having, tetrahedron we are having. So wind flag is not actually a wind measuring instrument. So the option is C, wind flag. Which one of the following is not a useful wind? Headwind, crosswind, tailwind, none of this. So we know the crosswind component is always a headache to the aircraft handling aircraft movement. So the unusual wind is crosswind. Okay. As per ICAO recommended, the minimum width of safety area for instrumental runway should be 78 meter, 150 meter, 300 meter, 450 meter. So the answer is 150 meter. As per ICAO recommendation, minimum width of safety area 150 meter. So clear way is 250 meter. Okay, you have to differentiate. That is clear way. Clear way 250. This is safety area 150. Next question. Aircraft service is made at apron, a terminal, hangar, taxiway. So we know. So apron is a place to handle your passengers and the cargoes. Okay. Terminal is a place where the people can sit and wait for aircrafts or ticket handling, cargo handling, or that money exchange. All those places you will have in terminal. Hangar is the place you are having to service your aircraft. Okay. Next question. Aircraft loading and unloading of cargo and passengers is made at. Options are apron, a terminal, hangar, taxiway. So the answer is apron. So it is a place where loading and unloading operation will generally happens. Next question. Which one is not the basic runway configuration? Okay. Options are single runway, a parallel runway, perpendicular runway, open V runway. The answer is a perpendicular runway. So we're having three basic runway configurations. Okay, one is single runway, another one is parallel runway, another one is open V runway, another one is intersecting runway. Okay, so there is no term called perpendicular runway. Okay, there is no term called perpendicular runway in basic runway configurations. Okay, so we are having single runway, we are having parallel runway, we are having open V, we are having one another configuration called intersecting runway. Okay, but we are not having perpendicular runway. So C is your option. Next question, 82. Which of the following is aircraft parking system? Which of the following is an aircraft parking system? Open apron, finger parking, satellite parking, all of this. So all the three are aircraft parking system only. So the answer is all of this. Open apron, finger, satellite. Next question. Which one of the following is a useful wind? Headwind, crosswind, tailwind, both A and C. So the answer is both A and C. The headwind and tailwind both are useful wind for in terms of aircraft operation. Okay. So the crosswind is the only term which is very peculiar to handle in terms of aircraft handling. So both headwind and tailwind are useful one. Next question. The component of airport used for landing and takeoff operation of aircraft. So we know the options are taxiway, runway, apron, control tower. So the answer is runway. So runway is the place the aircraft will take off and land. Next question. The communication between airport and aircrafts are controlled in hangars, runway, apron, control tower. So the answer is control tower. In the name itself, you can able to get control tower. So the communication between aircrafts are controlled by using control towers. Next question. Which of the following is the fastest mode of transportation? So simple question. Okay. Railway, waterway, roadway, airway. So airway is the fastest mode of transportation. Okay, that's all.